Awesome. I'm Tessa Smith with Mama's Geeky. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Tessa, thank you for coming up with that name of Mama's Geeky. That is the coolest. Are you kidding me? Is there a
Well,
Papa's
thank you.
Geeky? Like, how do I join?
I mean, listen, you're welcome. Come on, anytime.
Okay, that is so
Awesome.
cool.
Well, first of all, congratulations on this film. I absolutely loved it.
Thank
I
you.
was laughing, I was sobbing multiple times. I got to know what your inspiration was behind this.
Oh my God, the inspiration was my kids, and 150%. I've always wanted to do a movie for my kids, but I wasn't sure what. And I had had the idea to do an Imaginary Friends movie, but I wasn't quite sure what my take on it would be because I didn't want it to just be a silly movie. And then, I spent hours and hours watching my daughters go into this magical world that, if you're a parent, we're not invited into. And it wasn't just the joy on their faces, it was the authenticity of who they got to be, this fearlessness that they had of doing voices and having tea parties and dancing and dressing up. And there was such confidence in it. And then where I found my take on the movie was the pandemic. So when the pandemic hit, they started doing fewer and fewer imaginary games. Their light almost looked like it was starting to go out, and they started asking big questions. And I could see the real world was seeping in. And I said to Emily, this is what growing up is. That moment that you think you have to make a decision, do I grow up or do I leave childhood behind? And I said to Emily, I said, that's it. I'm going to make a movie about how you never have to make that choice. That we all grow up, but we can all know that that magical world we created as kids always exists and you can always go back.
I love it. Yeah, I love the message of like you need someone in your corner always, no
Always.
matter what. That scene with Bobby, I was like,
Oh
oh, it
my
was a
God.
mess.
Bobby
Oh,
Moynihan for president. I mean, are you kidding? That scene, I couldn't believe it.
it's incredible. I mean, this whole cast is phenomenal. But what do you think it was about Kaylee that made her the perfect bee? Because she's a star.
She's more than a star to me. She's really, mind blowing in this movie. Not only does she give an unbelievable performance, but she really pulls off a magic trick. And by that, I mean, she's not just giving a performance that's in a movie. She is a representation of all of us in that audience. So for kids, she's the kid, right? She's the kid that gets to play with all these imaginary friends. And so you want to be her. But for adults, she's your invitation back. She's going through, do I grow up or not? And I feel like as adults, we should be waking up every day saying, do I grow up or not? There's room for that. And so she pulled off the impossible. I will say it was a weird turn of events where I remember I asked for a list of actresses. They gave me a list. It somehow printed out wrong, so the pictures were this big. And even in this tiny picture, I saw this face and I said to my producing partner, I said, that's who I wrote this movie for. And then I met her, and before she opened her mouth, I knew she had the part. And then we did a couple scenes, or we were supposed to do a couple scenes with Ryan and I just to get to know her. And I think we only did one scene, and Ryan goes, can we go home? Because it doesn't get any better than that. And it's true, it doesn't get any better than that.
Awesome. I love it. That's my time. I had so many more questions. I could have talked to you forever.
Me
But
too.
congratulations. Seriously, this movie's so good. I cannot wait to take my kids to see it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was so great to meet you.
Have a good one.
You too.